Good morning. Welcome into Daybreak Plus on your Tuesday. First, vandalism at a historic cemetery in Muskegon. What we know and what's already happened there this summer.
Also, what happened late last night at the Kalamazoo City Commission meeting long after most of you probably went to bed. It has to do with data centers.
Good morning. We welcome you in on Tuesday morning here to Daybreak Plus. Matt Kirkwood alongside. How's your Tuesday been? All right?
Yeah.
That's a good start. Look what I brought today.
You got it this
Did
time.
you forget that
I
yesterday?
forgot that yesterday. It's
We
like
had-
the first time I forgot it.
had to do
I'm
some
realizing,
vaping.
like, uh-oh.
Not so bad.
I was like, good thing Teresa's in here. She would be scolding me.
I had a long weekend, which was nice. We had a 12-year-old birthday in our house yesterday. Wow. Last year before he's a teenager.
Right.
Kind of crazy.
Do we
Grady,
identify
right?
as tween?
He said, yeah, he's
did.
like, oh, it's my last year to be a tween.
Okay.
So, yes.
Good. Well,
Happy birthday to Grady.
happy birthday indeed. Off the top, we're starting to get some, I guess, we already had the real world consequences of the wildfire smoke. It was lung damage and itchy eyes and all that, you
And
know.
just being stuck inside for a couple of
Exactly,
days.
being stuck inside. But it's starting to cost us some money, apparently. There are some financial circumstances due to lost work and stuff that have now come out in a study.
And shutting down sporting events, fairs, other events that were supposed to happen. It's a big number, though. So 10 states lost a lot of money because of this in July, but Michigan was the worst. The total is around $38 billion for all 10 states. But we're at more than $6.5 billion in Michigan for the month of July.
We did see, locally they had to cancel an amphitheater show. They had to cancel a Frederick Meyer Garden show. So those are the kinds of things that we're talking about, stuff that had to be altered because of the smoke. This does strike me a little bit, though, as, they say, like, the first day of March Madness every year costs $10 billion in productivity because people aren't working as hard. So some of this may be kind of that.
But this is bigger than they initially estimated. So I think that is, it's like, whoa, it's that much. But
And the actual canceling of events makes more sense to me than, I was
trying to measure
Yeah.
productivity.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
A little verification there. Plus, it's the time of year that occurred. Tourism at its peak here across Michigan.
Yep.
So that does make sense. You'd often wonder, not that we would have wildfires in the middle of winter, but how it
Sure.
would impact. It certainly would not be as much because most of our activities are inside.
Well,
so
you know,
it'd be
ski
kinda-
resorts probably
Well,
would
no,
miss
for
out.
sure.
Yeah.
Just not as many.
Not as much. Yeah, definitely.
As much as Matt loves the snow and I love the snow, not everyone agrees with us, Duncan.
We'll get you converted.
I like having it. I would never want to live in an all warm state, but
Have you ever been skiing?
I did as a kid a lot.
Yeah.
But once I got into swimming, kind of for real, coaches aren't a big fan of it.
Because of
that's right.
broken
Don't break
bones
your
and
arm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I have yet to get back in as an adult, but I do love it. That's the one thing.
good.
It's our task for the winter.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in. No snow or smoke to worry about today, it
No.
sounds like.
No, it's looking like a really nice summer weather pattern. Speaking of which, look at this is a live view, not a live view, but this is grand. It almost looked like a live view, but it isn't. This is
That's pretty.
Yeah, Teresa House, Reardon, Grand Haven. Last night's sunset. I keep saying, I keep
does
thinking
look
it's the
like the
morning because
sunrise
it
this
looks like what we
morning.
had
Yeah.
this morning. And here's kind of a neat shot. I just love hummingbirds.
They are fascinating.
They are
aren't
so
they?
cool. I can just watch them when I'm up north. I just sit there and watch them because we have my in-laws
Feeder.
have a little feeder outside, and just fascinated by them. Wendy Casada out of Manawan sending this. She captured a cool looking shot there of a hummingbird, which they have to feed almost continuously because they burn so much energy flying. Well, their wings go like over 2,000 repetitions per minute. It's crazy. Okay, here is a view out there. This is live. South Haven, Muskegon, over to Grand Rapids and Allendale GVSU campus. Some high-level clouds out there. They gave us that spectacular sunrise this morning. Note, South Haven, a little bit of wave activity there, and that wind is pretty substantial on the lakeshore, and it's going to be that way all day long. We're looking at some wind gusts possibly up around 25 miles an hour, and that's going to kick up some of those waves. Wind gusts ramping up a bit this afternoon. There's a reason why. A lot of times when we get a cold front leaning into Michigan, it tightens the gradient with the wind, and that's going to result in some bigger wave heights building in. Looks like a charter boat coming in. Hopefully they had success out there. Beach conditions today, with a southwest wind, obviously your stronger or higher waves are going to be Muskegon northward, Little Saba Point area, upwards towards Pentwater, Duck Lake State Park, and you can see water temperature still favorable in the low to mid 70s out there. But just be careful, especially it's always Grand Haven. I'm always concerned about with those southerly winds. So be careful on the pier. Don't be jumping off of that. Okay, temperatures this morning were actually cooler than they were the previous day, but now we're starting a little warm up with that southwest wind. Dew point's pretty comfortable, but those will be going up too. You see some mid 60s along the shoreline. It's going to be just touch on the humid side today. Nothing super oppressive though. Latest on the infrared satellite radar composite, the wave of high mid-level clouds rolling eastward. They'll thicken up a bit today, and with that cold front, that's going to continue its progress to the south and east. It's a pretty slow mover, so that's why we have the chances of rain really holding off into this evening. But one of my favorite things to do, and a lot of families, is take their dogs for a walk during the evening, or you have your golf leagues and your softball leagues. So be aware of that. You're going to want your Storm Team 8 app with a radar going, because this is what it looks like this evening with a good cluster of some showers and thunderstorms. Right now, most of us should avoid severe weather, but there is a chance of severe weather, and it'll be primarily some strong wind gusts. That clears out. More high mid-level clouds tomorrow. We'll call it partly cloudy. Really nice afternoon, and we'll have another really nice Thursday. I'll show you that one 8-day coming up. In terms of the rainfall, right now, it looks like anywhere from, on average, about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. There could be locally some heavier rain, such as kind of indicates that in the South Haven area, upwards of an inch. So there could be some pockets of inch or more. And in terms of severe weather, you can see the Storm Prediction Center, not highly impressed with it, but the small chances there. And again, it'd be a straight line wind gust, probably up around 60 miles an hour. In terms of the 8-day forecast, really nice. Wednesday into Thursday. Friday, an upper level system comes in late in the day, and that's going to kind of reside around here on Saturday. So that's why we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Not a washout weekend, but it does look like at least may need an umbrella from time to time. Temperatures in the 70s, so pretty comfortable. And then as we go pushing forward to the end of August, wrapping up summer, it looks like near average temperatures here in the Great Lakes. Maybe a pocket of cooler air into New England. Out west, that's where the heat is. Precipitation outlook, kind of a dry pattern to finish out the month. Maybe that will carry over into Labor Day. Not really sure yet, but yeah, that's what she looks like.
All right.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
Dry, average temperature.
Yeah, not the oppressive humidity we had over the weekend. I don't see that returning anytime soon.
That
So.
was
God, it was really
That was
bad.
sticky.
Yes.
Yeah, it was sticky. Even though we
Man.
didn't see a lot of sun, but
when the kids are constantly leaving the door open. Like, come on.
oh, so you have to deal with that too, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Do you still have to deal with that?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I don't know what it is, but our garage door when we come in, there's always a fly right there.
Yes.
I can never.
I got really excited yesterday when a kid opened the door and a fly flew out of the house.
Yes.
I was like, all right, let's
Great
get more
feeling.
of that.
Yeah.
So have you heard this one? If you hang a bag of shiny pennies, it keeps the flies from coming in. Have you heard that?
What?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my wife said something like that. I was like, that is hogwash. Whatever.
Shiny pennies.
Anyway, that's supposed to work
gonna
because
try
it's
'cause we got
supposed to
bad.
discombobulate their eyes or senses or
The reflection.
the reflection. But inside our garage, you're not going to get much of a reflection. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Get a spotlight on there and then
flies,
really
man.
blow them out. Yeah, terrible. Least favorite insect, I think.
no, that'd be mosquitoes.
I was gonna
and
say
gnats for me.
right next to mosquitoes. But
Yeah, biting flies. If you go to the beach,
Oh, yeah.
those are bad.
Those are nasty.
But their
humid
bite, it
days-
doesn't last though. Like it hurts when they bite you, but
Yeah, you
2
don't
hours
get-
later, I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humid day. Now be aware of this. This is my little thing. There's beaches like Hoffmaster. They're right up next to the dunes and the woods. If there's an east wind and it's humid, don't go to one of those beaches. Go to one that's more open, like Grand Haven and Pere Marquette, and they won't be as bad. It's the humid days and east wind that draws them towards the lakeshore. When you have an onshore breeze, And they're typically not as bad.
See, that's why we keep you around, Matt. That's good stuff. That's good
That's just
consumer
things
advice. Yeah. Because I always wonder, I get there, I'm like, why today and not yesterday? Are they so bad?
Yeah.
It's not seasonal. Interesting. All right.
You
Things
taught
to
me
learn.
how to kill a fly.
Just
taught me what a
clap
board
right above them. They'll go,
is.
get them. And boy, does it feel good when you do.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, Matt. Thanks. We'll get into a couple top stories now, things that we want to get to right away, including backwards progress in East Grand Rapids. The Gaslight Village redevelopment has officially, I don't know if it's back to the drawing board entirely,
It's
but
at a standstill for sure because there's no clear direction on what the next steps are, even after a meeting last night, which we went to. So commissioners met. On the agenda, you would not have seen anything related to the Gaslight Village, but this is what everyone was thinking about. So it did come up. And in fact, one of the commissioners apologized. If you remember here, residents sued because they felt like the commission moved forward with this without considering their concerns.
yes, there was some public component to this, not necessarily in the design, but then in the revisions of the design. The lawsuit focused on approval of the final plans. They believed it needed to be a supermajority at city council rather than a plain majority, and a judge agreed. Last night they
For
addressed
the
it.
resident groups and individuals, I'm sorry that it took so many of you to prove that you weren't the small vocal minority.
Now, we need to make a clean slate. We all want development. Let me say that again. We all want development. Please help get the process started again and include residents that live in the area, business owners in the area, residents from all parts of East Grand Rapids.
One of the commissioners apologized that it took voters suing in order to have their voices heard. So that was what that apology was about. Then they went into a closed session to meet with council to talk about next steps without sharing what those might be.
So we'll see. We'll see there. Over in Muskegon, a historic cemetery that houses, the final resting places for a few really notable members of that community, vandalized for the second time this year. This time, that building, that mausoleum, the gate was ripped off, and some planters were smashed, headstones toppled over. This is following some paint that was spread there and vulgar messages that were inscribed earlier this year.
This is the Hackley Mausoleum. So we were talking about the history that exists there. It's a rich history. Mike Rhodes is a neighbor. He rides his bike through the paths through that cemetery, Evergreen Cemetery, every day, and noticed that the gate to the mausoleum was on the ground, which is not where it's supposed to be.
And he said, when we spoke to him yesterday, this is a community that values its history, especially these kind of movers and shakers at the very beginning of Muskegon's long history as a vital, economic spot in Michigan. And so he was pretty beside himself to see it treated this way. No arrests, no identified suspects just yet.
No, and this is a continuing problem. But Charles Hackley was one of the founding fathers of Muskegon.
Yeah.
So I think that's why this man was particularly concerned. But he said anybody, no matter who they are, how long they've been gone, deserves to have their final resting place left in peace.
Something to keep an eye on there out in Muskegon. Lots more still ahead for us here on Daybreak Plus. The rundown's coming up next, and one story that has particular interest for college football fans.
It involves Western Michigan University's athletic director. He gone. We'll let you know where he's headed next.
And remember, you can watch us on the big screen at home. We love that you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube, but you can watch us live and on demand using the Smart TV app Roku. Welcome back to Daybreak Plus on your Tuesday. We're having some technical issues with our Facebook stream. Bear with us as we try to troubleshoot that on the fly. Meanwhile, we're live on YouTube and Wood TV Plus, the Smart TV app. We're going to get into the rundown now. First story, one that has vexed West Michigan people all over the country right now. Data centers.
We've seen protests across the country related to data centers. Last night, 11:30, Kalamazoo City Commissioners made a decision about at least how quickly they're going to move forward, and the answer is not quickly. they approved a resolution to press pause on data centers for at least a year.
Here's how it sounded.
Please call the roll.
On the motion to adopt the resolution as amended, Commissioner Hepp,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Commissioner Pradle,
Yes.
Commissioner Slaby,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion passes.
Unanimous approval there from the commission in Kalamazoo to put a stay on any development of data centers. We don't want eggs, we want data centers.
Yeah, what's eggs?
Well, there was a recall of those, adding to our
On the
many
motion to adopt
foodborne
the
illness
resolution as amended, Commissioner Hepp,
Yes.
Yep.
issues.
You know what? That happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does this mean? It just means that they're not going to move forward on anything right now. They're going to take time. This is what people had asked for. Let's take time and figure out what the parameters are. What does it take for us to know that they're safe? What does it take for us to consider these projects and then move forward on, in fact, considering the projects?
It's what a lot of people in a lot of communities are asking their own governments to do, is to just take a second and consider the full consequences of these decisions. So good on you, Kalamazoo, for listening to the folks there.
We've seen vaccination rates falling every year for kids. The new data just shows that this is continuing.
Yeah. Less and less people are getting the full suite of vaccines, and this is of particular interest right now as kids go back to school.
The data we have is from the CDC, and it's for kindergartners specifically across the country. The overall vaccination rate last year was down to around 92%, and the non-medical, what's the word I'm looking for? When you get a waiver, when you get a,
Oh, yeah. The non-medical waiver, I think.
is it a waiver?
Yeah.
Exemption.
Exemption.
Yeah. Was up to 4.6% compared to 3.6% the previous year. So you're seeing that going up as well. So they're worried about it as we get into, flu season. That's not on the schedule. It's just an annual vaccine that kids typically get when they go in for their annual well visits and their back to school stuff.
Another recent development in this is the executive order from the Trump administration that is calling for MMR vaccines to be split and kind of lengthening the schedule, adding appointments between those. I was going to
Yeah.
go full screen, but it's not there.
Okay, got it. Sorry, we're having a side conversation here. So the issue with that is they don't have separate vaccines available for mumps, measles, and rubella. 17 years ago, Merck made those separately, but they stopped, citing data that shows that the combination shot is safe and effective, and there's not even a license for separate vaccines. And the newest report from medical journals, according to Merck, is that it would take possibly 10 years to have those back in production and available with the license. So even with this new vaccine schedule, you can't follow it because it's not available.
So the state of Michigan has already said we're going to stick with our schedule from the American Academy of Pediatrics, which is what they've kind of always followed, because even if they wanted to follow this new executive order,
They can't.
you can't.
And their recommendation is that you continue to get the MMR vaccines for your child. And they're, and according to the medical journals, there's no data that shows that that's a problem. Let's talk about the varsity football season.
Could be saved at Gull Lake after they had to cancel it. That team and program has gone through a lot of turmoil over the last couple of months. There were accusations of assaults at their camp back in June. That led to the dismissal of a few coaches, which led to the program just kind of falling apart at the seams, kids not wanting to participate. The district said we don't have enough to field a team, so it wasn't going to happen. But now a rival high school is stepping in, and the schools have agreed in principle to allow the kids that do want to play at Parchment now.
Yeah, so they made this actually just happened last night. They came to this agreement to create an emergency co-op. The caveat here is, so their next practice is Thursday, in order for Gull Lake players who are not part of this investigation, by the way, to join that practice on Thursday, MHSAA has to approve the emergency co-op. So that's the next step. We'll let you know if that happens. Otherwise, let's assume they get approved, then the players will start practicing Thursday, which, if you're hoping to get a scholarship or something,
Right.
you need to have a varsity season.
Especially if you're a senior, or if you were on JV last year and you were really looking forward to making the step into prime time, definitely.
Although I wonder how Parchment players feel about it, because you're doubling your competition in theory.
I imagine it's not many
Who would join?
athletes that'll make if they didn't have enough to run a team. But I suppose you need, 22 minimum?
Right.
11 if you're playing both ways the entire time.
I guess it all depends on how many starter potential candidates you have coming over.
And that's
The
information
level
we
of
don't
anger
have.
that
Yeah.
you might have.
But yeah, it's going to be a tough. We had a co-op water polo team in high school, because we didn't have enough, EGR and Catholic Central. And it was always really nice to get to know guys that live in your same town. It's not quite the same town here in this instance, but close
Forgot
by.
you were a water polo guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. One of the few. Beautiful sport.
Let's talk about what's happening with MSU's new athletic director. He's not coming from far away.
No, he's familiar to Bronco fans out there, and he's making the move up to East Lansing.
Dan Bartholomew is leaving after several successful seasons with the Broncos. Talk about hockey, football, winning some championships there. Pretty good stuff at Western. So they're excited to have him joining the Spartans.
Yeah, he had a really good run, for both the premier sports at Western and some of the smaller ones.
37 Mid-American Conference championships.
That's incredible. That's a really, really solid run. He took over on January 1st, 2022. So just a couple of years to rack up all of those achievements, including in the new AP poll for college football that came out last night. Western Michigan received a top 25 vote.
That's exciting.
One vote, but they got one.
That's exciting.
Yeah. The Spartans didn't get any.
Well, there
Not to
you
rub
go.
it in. So maybe he'll come and right the ship for that football program at Michigan State and, of course, attend to the wealth of other sports.
Want to just skip ahead to the next block?
Yeah, it's that time, isn't it? See, we're just yapping. I'm just yapping.
It's what happens when you have two people here.
Yes.
We talk too much.
So, skipping the break, and now we're going to get to the big finish.
The big finish.
Down in Kalamazoo, another hot button story is flock surveillance. Last night, we spoke to some protesters who were out saying that they want these cameras out of Kalamazoo.
I love Kalamazoo. I hate them. My picture gets taken 12 times on the way to the grocery store.
That one of the residents that was at this protest last night who said he hates having his picture taken a dozen times on his way to the grocery store. And it's a real problem. And these cameras are all over all of our communities in West Michigan. We're trying to pull up a map here to show you exactly where they are.
There it is. Okay.
Here's
just
the
want to
map.
make sure that you can see the map. The map is very important.
The map
to the
is
story.
very important. I mean, they're in every community. They're in Holland. They're in St. Joe, Muskegon, Grand Haven, tons in Grand Rapids. This is a map. It's the D-Flock map. You can pull it up on your phone at home or on your computer and get really close and see exactly where these cameras are. Not to take action, not to do anything, but just to know, the surveillance is out there, and the policies from community to community about how they're used and shared are not universal. So educate yourself on who's watching you and why.
The company that controls these cameras has made some adjustments because of the backlash. So instead of holding data for 30 days, they only hold it for 7 now. They're changing rules for reasons for searches and even blocking some users depending on if they take advantage of the system.
So something to keep an eye on. Well, our last word, as you saw already, apparently locusts can help identify PFAS.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's my fault.
No, hey, we're making
We're
it
out
work
of time
here.
anyway.
That's
so
it.
read about it right now at woodtv.com. It's one of our digital specials online now.
Well done. That's all we got for you Tuesday here on Daybreak Plus. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.